It's good to be able to address you this morning on the 11th Sunday of Pentecost. It's a wonderful day. This is the day which the Lord has made. There is an old nursery rhyme that goes like this. Perhaps you know it. I remember my father reciting it to me when I was a child. It goes like this. Hark, hark, the dogs do bark. The beggars are coming to town. Some in jags and some in rags, and some in velvet gowns. This is a rhyme that comes out of Old England and dates anywhere from the early 1000s all the way up to the 1700s. No one knows exactly when it was written. In the rhyme, the dogs are barking and the beggars are coming to town. Actually, the dogs are the beggars. I always think of that nursery rhyme when I read today's gospel, which tells what happens to Jesus, who, when he is up in Canaanite territory, in a foreign land, is accosted by a woman, a foreigner, who confronts him and begs him to heal her daughter who is sick. This is one of the most fascinating conversations in the entire New Testament because it portrays a kind of evolution in Jesus' program, in his thinking, and the scope of the ministry he has come to inaugurate. Let me quickly review it. The woman confronted Jesus and the disciples as they were coming into town. "Have mercy, Master," she said. "My daughter is afflicted by an evil spirit." The disciples asked Jesus to take care of her because of her persistent pleading. And Jesus seems to dismiss her. "I'm not here for the likes of her," he says, "but for the lost sheep of the house of Israel, not Canaan." But she ups the ante. She kneels right in front of him so that he can't disregard her, and she makes her plea again, "Lord, help me." Jesus dismisses her plea a second time. "It is not right to take the children's food and throw it to the dogs," he says. Did you catch that? It is not right to take the children's food and throw it to the dogs. Jesus just implied that she was a dog, a cur, not one of our nicely groomed pets, not one of our just domesticated animals, but a wild and feral street dog. But with equal assertiveness, she replies. She snaps back, "You're right, Lord, but even beggar dogs get the scraps from the master's table." And that's where it happens for me. That's where a transition takes place. Something is changing in the mind of Jesus. I can see the countenance of Jesus making its move. Now he's smiling at her, no longer dismissive. And he declares to her, "Woman, your faith is great. Your faith is great. What you ask will be done for you." And her daughter is healed immediately. You can see how important this encounter was for Jesus, can't you? I can see him pondering this episode as he made his way to the cross. At first he thought his ministry only had to do with the people of Israel. But no, because of the Canaanite woman, he saw he was not just for the Israelites, not just for one particular group of all the people on the earth, but he was sent on his mission for everyone. Black, white, brown, yellow, it didn't matter. Jesus came for all of us. Jesus had changed his mind, and his salvation became a universal hope. Ira Byock is an American physician and author. He is founder and chief medical officer of St. Joseph Health Institute for Human Caring. and he's done a lot on the work of palliative care for those who are dying. In one of his several books, he wrote these words about caring for one another. Quote, "Years ago, anthropologist Margaret Mead was asked by a student what she considered to be the first sign of civilization in a culture. The student expected Mead to talk about a tribe creating fish hooks or clay pots or grinding stones or newer and better weapons. But no, Mead said the first sign of civilization in an ancient culture was a femur, a thigh bone, that had been broken and then healed." Mead explained that in the animal kingdom, if you break your leg, you die. You cannot run from danger or get to the river for a drink or hunt for food. You are meat for prowling beasts. No animal survived a broken leg long enough for the bone to heal. A broken femur that was healed is evidence that someone had taken the time to stay with the one who fell, had bound up the wound, had carried the person to safety, and had tended the person through recovery. Helping someone else through difficulty is where civilization starts, Mead said. We too are at our best when we serve others. Be civilized. I came not to be served, but to serve, says Jesus. I believe he learned that from the Canaanite woman who confronted him so effectively. Amen.